If you were to ask almost anybody in the world what their ultimate goal was, even though they probably would say that it's some type of material thing or some type of career goal or something like this, at the end of the day, when you really figure out what it is they want or why they want that, it's because they want to be happy. And the thing is, I think a lot of people don't understand really what happiness really means. Because happiness, for example, could be something as simple as seeing a baby. Smiling baby makes you smile, right? You feel happy at that moment. The thing is, this feeling goes away within a few minutes. So, is that happiness or is that just the feeling of happiness? This is the emotion. But I think when people talk about happiness and what they want, what they're looking for really is they're looking for something else. They want to get to a point in their life where they're actually not worried about things. And I think they're using the word happiness to talk about the, let's say, the experience of not having worries, the experience of being able to have the time to do the things you want to do, to have the freedom to do the things that you want to do, to be able to spend more time with their loved ones, to be able to make enough money to have that time and freedom. And I think one of the conflicts that a lot of people have is this conflict of you can't have a great family and be a great family uh, person, let's say a man or a woman in this case, or just to be a good member of a family, let's say, and also to be a great business person or a successful person in career. And I think that's where the problem lies, that a lot of people think that they can't. So they invent this work-life balance thing, which is actually not so accurate. Because work-life balance, what is that? To me, that sounds like work is not part of life for you, and life is everything outside of work. So in other words, it means you hate your job. It means work sucks. And if that's the case, then you need to get out of there. Period. Nobody should be doing a job they hate if they have a chance to go do something that they love to do or that they enjoy at least better or more than this. So, work-life balance. Honestly, the only balance you need in your life is to make sure that all the important things in your life, all the important needs are being met. So you need money, right? You need money to pay all your bills. You need money to be able to buy the experiences that are going to put a smile on your face. You need great relationships because through great relationships comes fulfillment, and through great relationships comes more money. Aside from that, one thing that a lot of people get wrong here or forget about, they start making money, the relationships are doing well, um, they're working a lot, they're not taking care of themselves. Their health gets left behind. And trust me, without your health, you can't do anything. Because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. You're not going to be able to take care of that business. You're not going to be able to take care of your family. You're not going to be able to do any of those things. So, number one should be your health. And that means forget all these diets and forget all these different training programs. Look, all you need to do, you want to be healthy, eat right. Don't eat junk. Don't eat garbage that is bad for your body. And trust me, we have the internet nowadays. If you're not sure, look it up. You don't need a nutritionist to tell you what's good for you and what's not good for you. If you still think chips are good for you, then go do some research. Look at the things you're eating. Eat healthy. Eat moderately. Some people eat healthy, but they eat way too much and way too often. So make sure that you're eating what you need. Make sure that you're getting moving, that you're moving around. Go do some exercise. Go for a walk. You know, a lot of people think that walking is boring, but it can be one of the most peaceful things in the world. Go out for a walk Do this tomorrow. Wake up earlier than usual. Go out for a 30-minute walk and see how good your day is going to be, how good you're going to feel after that. Trust me, you're not going to feel bad about it. Walking in the morning sets you up for the whole day. And all you did was walk. I'm not telling you to go to a gym and lift weights, or do, an hour of HIIT. All I'm telling you to do is go out and get moving. Eat well, get moving on a regular basis. Stay consistent. Okay? That's health. Wealth is an important part of this whole equation. But the thing about wealth is that when you say wealth to people, the first thing that comes to mind is exactly money. People think of money with wealth, but it's not all there is. Wealth means an abundance of something. And most people think of an abundance of money, but you can have an abundance of health. You can have an abundance of good relationships. You can have an abundance of friends. You can have an abundance of great colleagues. Just like you can have an abundance of cars if that's what you like to collect and buy. Wealth just means a lot of something. So if you are wealthy, that means you have an abundance of the things that you want to have in your life. That makes you wealthy. Just like being happy with the life you have makes you successful. If you're happy with the life you have, that means you succeeded, right? You want it to be happy and you feel great in the life that you have. You're grateful for all the wonderful things that you have. Then you're successful. Stop thinking that success is measured by what other people tell you it is. You know, if Michael Jordan thinks that success is winning multiple championships, then that's cool. That's for Michael Jordan. He was one of the greatest basketball players in the world. That shouldn't be your measurement. That's not your measuring stick. You don't even play basketball, right? So you need to find what's good for you. You need to find what is that thing that, think back when you were younger. What did you want to be when you grew up? What did you think your adult life was going to be like? Did you ever picture what you would be like when you were older, meaning 40, 50? No, just kidding. Um, when you retired, maybe. Did you have you ever thought of that? So think about your youth and how you thought of that and see, did you lose your way somewhere along the way? Are you doing what you wanted to do? If you're not, why? Did you choose not to do that or was it chosen for you? If you chose not to follow that anymore, then I respect that and that's cool and you're doing the right thing right now. But if that was something that was chosen for you, then you need to reassess what you're doing because your life is your life. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It doesn't belong to your spouse. It doesn't belong to your kids. It doesn't belong to your parents. It doesn't belong to your boss. It doesn't belong to anybody else. Your life belongs to you. And you are the only one that should be calling the shots on what you're doing in your life. And I know that sounds, yeah, you're probably saying, yeah, but I'm married and I have a family and they have to decide too. They have to decide only if what you're doing is beneficial to the family. They don't need to decide how you do it. So, I mean, if you're sitting on your ass and you're playing video games all day and you're not bringing any money home, then they can make decisions for you because you're obviously in no condition to make them. But if you're out there and you're doing what you love doing and you're working hard and you're making a living out of it, they're not going to tell you should stop doing that if it's actually succeeding for you. Your family wants you to be happy, and your family wants to also be happy. And if they've trusted you with taking care of them, then you have a responsibility to them. But you also have a responsibility to yourself. So you can't just do whatever job you're going to do, even though you hate it, and then you're thinking about work-life balance, because it takes care of your family, and they have the things they need, and they leave you alone, but you're not happy. So you need to find a way to do what makes you happy and make that work for you. So then everybody will leave you alone and let you live your life. And if they don't, sometimes you have to just in one ear, out the other, and do whatever it is that you need to do at this point. Now, of course, if something is not working, you need to be smart enough and wise enough to realize, hey, this is not working. I have a dream and my dream is not producing anything. There's nothing coming from it. Well, that means you're doing something wrong. That doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. That means you're doing something wrong. Look at how you're marketing your service or product. Look at how you're actually selling it, because it could just be a matter of approach, a matter of the tone, a matter of how secure you are with what you're actually doing. Do you believe in what you're doing? That's important. If you don't believe that what you're doing is going to be successful, guess what? You're right. It's not going to be. If you truly believe that it's going to be successful, guess what? You're right. You are always right. Remember that. You're always going to prove yourself right. You're never going to prove yourself wrong, ever. So you're always going to prove yourself right. So wouldn't it be better to be right about being successful and doing the things you love and having the life you want, instead of being right that you're a failure and you'll never amount to anything? I don't know. Which one sounds better to you? So you need to worry about these things. These things are important. So going back to wealth, when you're thinking about wealth, wealth is an abundance of the things you love. So let's recap here. You need your health. Your health is number one. Without your health, you can't do anything. So start with that. Start eating well. Start moving. Okay? Go for it. Second thing you need is wealth. And wealth is an abundance of all the things that you want in your life. You have to go after those things. They're not so hard. People think it's ridiculously hard to do this, but it's not. Relationships, for example. You already have relationships in your life. Reinforce them. If you reinforce those relationships, maybe those relationships will lead you to new relationships and you'll meet other people. Stop saying no every time somebody invites you to a get together at their house, or invites you to a ball game, or invites you somewhere because you'd rather stay home watching Netflix. Go, mingle, meet people. That's going to give you an abundance of relationships. You complain you can't meet the right person. Well, you're not going to meet them sitting on your couch eating chips, watching Netflix. You're also not going to meet them going to the same place every single night, expecting that tonight will be the night. Change things up. If you've been doing the same thing for 6 months, a year, and nothing's happened, go do something else. Go to a different place. Take up that offer to go to that ball game. Who knows who you might meet? That goes for business, that goes for relationships, that goes for everything. Do things out of the ordinary, get out of your comfort zone. You want wealth with money? Well, start figuring out how you can make money off what you love. So do what you love, for one. Do it, but do it all the time. Stay consistent with it. Get better and better and better. And when you think you're good enough, keep going, because you're not. Keep getting better and better and better. Always make yourself better. Continue growing. Never stop growing, ever. Continue growing. You're going to eventually see results, and it takes a while. Sometimes you have to be a little patient at first. So you need to be a little bit pushy. If that's taking too long, you need to figure out where else you can make some money and how else you can make some money. There's tons of advice all over the internet. Take advice from people who have already done it. I'm not telling you to listen to me on how to make money. I'm not a millionaire, but there's a ton of millionaires out there that you should be listening to, because they know what's going on. Now, I can tell you how to be happy, because I'm damn happy with my life, even though I'm not a millionaire. And that's important for you to realize. What is the difference? So do you need money to be happy? No. Can you be happy with money? Yes. You can be happy. It doesn't matter how. Happy is up to you, and happy is up to what your expectations of your life are. That's why I said it's all up to you. It's not up to somebody else. But the advice is there, and there are people who've done what you want to do. Listen to those people. Don't listen to the ones that haven't accomplished what you want, because those people don't know either. Okay? So you're going to go around the same circles. With wealth comes something else that is wonderful, and that is time and freedom. When you have a job that you enjoy and you have enough money to live a more than comfortable life, you start finding that you have some extra time to do stuff, especially if you figure out how to make money work for you. Because if you keep working for money, you're going to work your ass off for the rest of your life and never see a dime. Learn to make money work for you. That will free up your time so you can have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, with the people that you love. Because really, that's the whole thing. That's what you want. You want to be able to have the time to do the things you want, the freedom to do them with whoever it is that you want to do it, really. So, health, wealth. The last piece of the puzzle here is fulfillment. And I personally believe that a lot of times when people are talking about happiness, I think what they're really thinking about is fulfillment, except that we don't normally talk about fulfillment as much. But fulfillment is something that's for me, it's something that you can sustain. Because fulfillment, if I'm doing, I'll give you an example. If I'm working in a job that helps people, and I know it's helping people, and I can see the results of how it helps people, it makes me feel good. I feel great when I can coach somebody or I can teach somebody, and by the end of our course, by the end of our sessions, whatever it is, I can see that they learned. I can see that they've made a change for the better, that they can take whatever they learn and they can move on with their life and continue growing. That is fulfillment. Fulfillment is being able to give, giving, and seeing how people can use that and how it benefits them and how they can lead happy lives. That is fulfillment. When you're doing something only for money, then, it's the same thing. Imagine you get a raise at work. You're happy. You're super happy. You just got, an extra 5%. Hell, you got an extra 10% a year. And you're happy as hell, right? And you're happy that first month. And when you get that first salary payment in your bank account and you see it, you're super happy. But you know what happens 6 months later? You are waiting for that next raise. You're not happy with that raise anymore. You're saying, oh, I need more money. This is not paying me enough. So what are you doing? You're basically chasing money. And that's not going to do it for you. That's really not going to do it for you. It's a temporary high, what you're going to get from getting that extra raise and that little bit more. So if you're measuring your success and your happiness by the amount of money that you get, you're never going to be happy. You have to do it on something else. You have to find something else to measure it with. And that something else is normally something like is what you're doing helping other people. We're a society. We weren't born here and left alone in this world. We were left here with a bunch of other human beings. And I don't think that the idea was for us to be here and kill each other. I think the idea was for us to learn to coexist and help each other make the best out of the situation that we're in. We're living in this world. We have problems. We have environmental issues. We have wars. We have all sorts of problems in this world. But the majority of the people doing that are actually the minority of the people on this earth. So bad people, negativity, and just plain old evil is actually a minority. That's not the majority on this earth. And you were put here to help other people. And there are people that need the help. And I don't mean that you need to go out there and you need to give them money. Now, if you have it and you can give it, then go for it. One of the things that I really strongly believe People say, yeah, but having so much money, why do you need so much money? That's selfish. Other people can use that money. Yes, but if those people don't know how to earn that money, nobody's going to have that money. So I rather have it because the more money I have, the more people I can help. You understand that? The more money you have, the more people you can help. If you don't have that money because you want to share with other people, you want other people to earn it, if they don't know how to make that money's just going to sit there. So it's better if you, because you were smart enough to figure out how to get that money, then you should get that money and you should distribute it however you see fit, by opening up a center, by opening up a school, by opening a park, by helping out a hospital, by donating it to charity, whatever it is you want to do with your money, however you want to give back. But the more you make, the more people you can help. Remember that. Get that through your head. There's nothing evil about money. The only evil thing about money is that some people use it for bad shit. That's it. But there's nothing wrong with money. Money is just a piece of paper. It's a paper that's worth something to people, and you can use it to help. That is fulfillment, when you're actually helping people and you know that what you did made that person live one more day, made that person smile, made that person change their life around, and now they figured out how to earn that money, how to make a living doing what they love. That's fulfillment. So you need that. You want to be happy. You want your happiness to be sustainable. You need your health. You need wealth, and you need fulfillment. All those three things, those are the three pillars of sustainable happiness. You need them. And if any of them are missing, eventually the structure will crumble. You cannot go on without those three things. If your health fails, the other two go with it. If your wealth fails, it doesn't matter how good your health is and how fulfilling your job is. If you're not making any money and you don't have time for people and you have no relationships, you will not be happy. And if you have your health and you have friends and family and you have money and you have time and freedom, but the job you're doing is not fulfilling at all for you because it's not filling that space in here that's making you say, ah, I feel good about what I did, then it's also going to crumble. You need all three of those elements if you want to be sustainably happy. Now, easier said than done? Maybe, but it's actually not so, it's not what people think it is. I mean, it's a very simple formula, really. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. Where should you start? Well, I think that, as we said, you can't do anything without your health. So start there. Start taking care of yourself. You have time. Trust me. I'm 48 years old and I'm just getting started. Sometimes I wish I knew what I know now 10, 15 years ago, because I could be a lot further along right now. But you know what? I'm glad I'm not. I'm actually grateful that I am where I am right now because I learned things at the right time and I've had the experiences that I've had. Had I been able to do this 10, 15 years ago, I would have skipped out on a lot of experiences I've had that were wonderful. So I'm cool with where it's at. I accept my life exactly for what it is. I accept everything for how it is. I also accept the fact that I'm in control and that I can change things and that only I can change things. So you need to be able to have that in your mind. So where would I start? I would start with health. Health is important. You have time, like I said. So start with that. Get up tomorrow morning, go for a walk, get in that refrigerator of yours and see what you have in there that's unhealthy and throw it out. Don't even worry about, oh, but I spent money on this and it cost that. Don't worry. You did it. You already made the mistake. Fix that mistake by getting rid of it, not by eating it. Yeah? Because that makes it worse. Get rid of the shit that's bad for you, that's in your refrigerator, in your pantry, wherever it is. If you're left with that much in your refrigerator, then I suggest you go grocery shopping and you buy some healthy stuff. Buy fruits, buy vegetables, Buy some lean meats, not things that are so fatty. Don't buy canned food unless you're stashing it for, a hurricane, an emergency, a blackout, whatever it is. Okay, for those things, go ahead. You can hoard those things if you want. But as far as eating them on a regular basis, no. You need to be eating fresh, clean food. So if you're in a supermarket, most supermarkets are set up where you come around the perimeter of the supermarket. That's the only place you should be at. You shouldn't be visiting those aisles because there's nothing in those aisles that's good for you. You have candy in there, you have processed foods, you have all sorts of stuff that you don't need. So skip the aisles, just go to the perimeter. Okay? You need fruits, you need vegetables, you need dairy if you eat it, you need fresh meats. Buy fresh meat. If you can go to a butcher, go to a butcher, get quality stuff. Okay, so you know where it's coming from. But that's not all of it. You're eating healthy and you're walking in the mornings. Try to get some workout time in there. Working out 2 to 3 times a week is also going to help you, aside from the walk. You're going to see how you're probably going to lose some weight. You're going to gain some muscle. You're definitely going to gain some energy. You're going to feel better. You're probably going to sleep better. Your overall condition will improve. Even though you think right now you feel good, do this for a couple of weeks and see how much better you're going to feel. So start there. Start with your health. Start with your health. Then, as far as your wealth is concerned, I would start by strengthening the relationships that I already have. Call them up. Be like, hey, how are you? I was thinking about you. How have you been? What's new? Listen to them. Listen to what they have to say. Yeah? It should be about them. It shouldn't be about you. You're not calling them to tell them what you've been doing for the past 3 months. You're calling them to see what they've been doing. You're taking interest in them. That's how you're building your relationships. So take care of that. If they're too far away for you to call them up, then send them a message. Send them an email, DM, whatever. You have tons of options of how you can contact somebody. Do that. Strengthen your relationships. Strengthen your relationships and then start paying attention to your finances. Don't spend money on stuff you don't need. You don't need to buy something just for status. If you want to buy something expensive because the quality speaks to you and you think, I want this because it's great quality, then go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But if you're buying this because everybody else has it, then you're doing, I'm sure you've heard of this before. It's not my line, but I'm sure you've heard it, that you're buying shit you don't need to impress people you don't like. Not to mention that stuff that you can't afford. I forgot that part. Yeah, you buy shit you can't afford to impress people you don't like. You don't want that. What do you need that for? So, point is, pay attention to your money. Pay attention to where it's going. And learn more about money. Learn about what you can do with your money. Learn about investing your money. Learn about how you can make your money work for you. That's going to help you because that's eventually going to give you that time and that freedom that you also want. Make sure that you're doing something that you love doing, that fulfills you. And the last thing, honestly, which is the one thing that I haven't mentioned up to this point, is the one ingredient that will make everything better at this point. Right now, right this second, you're going to be able to feel a million times better about everything. Gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. You need to be grateful for the things you have. I said this a million times. If you can't be grateful for the things you have, you don't deserve the things you want. Because you're always going to want more. Just like that raise example I gave you. You get more money, and now you're all happy that you got more money, but a couple months later, oh, I want more money. That's not enough what I have. So now you're not grateful anymore for that. You're not grateful that you have this, that you wanted so badly before. You finally have what you wanted, but now you want more. And now when you finally get that more, then you want more. So you're never satisfied. And the problem with that is that you're never grateful for what you actually have. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting more, but you need to acknowledge that you're happy with what you have. You have to be grateful for everything that you've accomplished thus far. Think about where you were 10 years ago. Think about where you are now. Hopefully, for most people, I would say they're in a much better place right now than they were 10 years ago. I know that doesn't account for everyone, and if it doesn't, I'm sorry, but you can change that and you can make it that in 10 years, you'll be in a much better place where you are right now. That's for sure. So be grateful for every single day you have. Be grateful for every single thing you have. Be grateful for the people in your life. Because once you are grateful for all that, you're going to feel such a sense of happiness. You've never felt anything like it in your life. I guarantee you that. Unless you've practiced gratitude before and you know how it is to be fully grateful for everything you have without saying, oh, but I don't have that. Because that's lack. And when you have lack, that kills the whole thing for you. And that is where unhappiness begins, when you start thinking of the things you don't have. So be grateful for all the things you have and start moving forward so you can have more. But always stop and smell the roses, as they say. Stop and be grateful for the things you have. Make sure you're grateful every single day for everything you have. Make a gratitude list. Do it every morning. Make sure that that is clear to you at every single moment, every single step of the way. You're free, you're completely sure you are clear on what you have in your life. You're clear that you're grateful for them. The things that you want will eventually start coming and they'll be attracted to you because they see that you are grateful, that you value them, that you appreciate these things. So things will come to you. When you appreciate things, they come to you. Trust me, they do. I can give you, I'm not going to do it right now, but I can give you a list of things that I've accomplished in my life or gotten in my life because I was grateful for the things I had, that these things came to me because of that. And that's the law of attraction. So be clear on these things. Be clear on what it is you really want and go live the best life that you can live.